is up, guys? This is AJ Fraser here from Fraser Comics here on another special edition on Fraser Indie Talk. So this is our second video game edition that we're doing on the show today. If you missed it, our first one was earlier this year, episode 3, when we did it on Ratchet and Clank. So if you get a chance to check it out, and we'll also have the link down in the description below after this video. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so I figured with all the hints I've been giving out, it's going to be about Crash Bandicoot today in terms of comics, video games, adaptation, like from video game to comic book. And basically there's not a whole lot of physical media comic book wise for Crash, but there are some rare stuff we'll get into a little later. But as usual, I always do have some kind of physical format to show you guys what I got in terms of, you know, comic book related. So now it is published through Dark Horse Comics. It's not necessarily a comic book, it's more like a big, like, thick book. So now that book we'll be looking at today is the Crash Bandicoot Files: How Willy the Wombat Sparked the Marsupial Mania. So originally Crash was going to be called Willy the Wombat before they finalized it to Crash Bandicoot. So, and this is all the files, the original files from Naughty Dog back in the day. And so, and like I said, this is produced Dark Horse, if you can see that. So don't do a whole lot of Dark Horse on this show. But anyway, let's get right into it, shall we? When you first open up, you see all the original artwork here, really nice. You know, open up the book and you see all this stuff. I'll try to keep this short, sweet, to the point, because it is a bit of a thick book. So we'll just point out some key points here. So by the OG creators, Andy Gavin and Jason Rubin. So this is the picture of the original work journal that they had for how they got this. It was scanned and printed, every single page on here that you're going to see. Well, not all of them, but just some of them. There's some like game layouts in like an Excel spreadsheet type of thing, a graph. See like all their original writings and notes and stuff like that on here. Good old plain old black and white of Cortex Castle. Here's some more artwork here. Cortex Vortex, the thing that changed Crash Bandicoot's life forever. And we got some colored pictures here. Looks like this is Papu Papu's area. So a little bit after the artwork, you get into the character bios. So, and of course we start with our good old character here, Crash Bandicoot, aka originally Willy the Wombat. Then originally, if you guys didn't know this, but Tawna, before she became Tawna, her original name was going to be Carmen. So, yep, girl wombat, Willy's love interest, yada yada yada, you know, basically what we know. But by the final touch, her name was changed to Tawna. Neocortex, his name never changed. Dr. Embryo, or on here, it's just called Embryo. One of my favorite bosses throughout the whole entire series. As a matter of fact, I got something rare to show you guys. Yeah, I got a nice little figurine of Nitrous. Oh, and there goes his arm. But that's okay. It pops right back in. But yeah, I got an action figure of Dr. Embryo. This was actually a very customized, detailed figurine made by, what's the name? VD Vortex, I believe. I'll show you a picture on here in a minute of who it is. But yeah, definitely shout out to him. I also, here, let me put him off to the side. I also got another rare figurine here. For those of you know, we'll get to his pictures here soon. But we've got Ripperoo. Yeah. So, yep, all customizable, just like same person that I got it from. Very delicate, you know, he's not meant to be played with or anything like that. So yeah, that's him. There you have it, Ripperoo. He hasn't really changed. The same old idea pretty much laid out from what they originally had. So he's been the crazy kangaroo that we know today. I got the Komodo brothers, which was their original plan, their idea. Their names were originally going to be Komodo and Kimono before they became what is it? Joe and Mo. Yeah. One of my favorite all-time characters throughout this series is Pinstripe. Very underrated character. I really wish that throughout the series they showed more of him. Maybe go more into the lore of Pinstripe. That would be my wish for the Crash Bandicoot franchise. So, but I've always loved this guy. He's my favorite character, Pinstripe. The OG PlayStation layout. Yep, right here tells you pretty much what all the buttons would do throughout the game as Crash goes through all the Wampa Islands and stuff like that. And last time, skipping ahead, secret areas, secret hidden areas that they've got laid out, which was what originally was supposed to be until the final cut of the game. So, but that'll be pretty much it on this book. And back here, just, you know, says Activision, Naughty Dog, Dark Horse. But yeah, definitely a good thing to have if you're a big Crash fan like I am. So that's the Crash Bandicoot files. Now I'm gonna show you guys some. Now, first time ever for everything. We'll be showing you a digital format of all the comic book media that I have found, collected, and I'll just kind of spread it out on this video for you to see. So check it out. So that was that. You know, Crash was the first ever video game. Excuse me for my itching. Was the first ever, like, when I ever knew video games existed. I started playing Crash. I was introduced by it, you know, in '96 when I was like 5, 6 years old, 4 years old, something like that, roughly around that age when the first game originally came out. And I remember. I could not pass that very first level to save my life. Insanity Beach, when you first start the game and Crash, you know, gets swapped up into the shoreline of Insanity Beach, I could not pass that level to save my life. But that's just kind of how it was. And you know what? He's been such an inspiration for me today. You know, here I am in my adult form. I decided to do my own comic book series that's based on characters of Crash Bandicoot and his personality, plus a mix of others, so which would be Shadow Shock and Poltergeist. So if y'all haven't figured that out yet, if y'all haven't followed me, that's kind of where some of the ideas come from, but only in more of an adult, dark, humorous form of what Crash would be, 10 times way opposite. But it's going to be based on some of his insane personality with a mix of Deadpool and Beetlejuice. And that's kind of the idea for Shadow Shock and Poltergeist. You know, so they're kind of the main flagship for me. That's why you'll be seeing them throughout my videos and stuff, representing, you know, some of the content that I do. Now, I normally do a scale of 1 to 10 on everything. With this, there's kind of a multiple media thing with Crash. I would love to, you know, just say a perfect score for it, but I think I'll just kind of leave it as like dormant, because I know with me, like, I've known Crash all my life, and so I would give it a perfect 10. But again, there's no, it's when it comes to these episodes, it's different, you know. So it's hard for me to just really kind of determine that, how to scale that. So, but that'll be just my honest opinion on all that, because again, there's no like legit comic book like media format, and I don't have any hard copies of anything besides that big book that I showed you guys, the Crash Bandicoot Files, which is not necessarily a comic book, but it came from a comic book publisher that published it. Definitely, and I recommend, like, any, you know, Crash Bandicoot collector or fan like myself to get your hands on it. It's a great book. Well, that'll be it for this episode on Fraser's Indie Talk Special Edition Video Games. And this is our second one. So, and again, as I mentioned earlier in this episode, check out the first video game edition that we did over on Ratchet and Clank. So, definitely recommend it. Check it out. But to end off this video, here's some of my own gameplay of Crash Bandicoot. And hope to see you on the next video. Enjoy.